into the air and sort it out there and decide if we need to return to the airfield. If you notice anything amiss during the takeoff roll, please notify me. Any questions?
That's checked and no questions.
Takeoff brief complete.
Hello and good evening and welcome to this next Flymanx video vlog. One pilot flogging his way around the world one flight at a time. Anyone that was lucky enough to catch the last video that I tried to make was an X-plane on the 737, and having just come from the 747 in prepared, I found that trying to fly the 737 was just an absolute... I don't really want to use the word joke because it's a disservice to IXCG, but the ground friction model, having just been on the 747, uncontrollable. The takeoff was all over the show. So having the fact that whilst it was going on, I had two crashes of my software that powers the production, shall we say, I decided that the best thing to do was just not to use X-Plane and IXCG for now until they've moved the beta along a little bit more. And I decided to fly an Airbus instead. Now, I don't fly Airbuses very often, so this is very much a fact-finding mission of can I remember how to fly it over anything else. So,
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Alright, Captain, we're removing the jetway now.
Thanks.
There's actually no jetway. As you can see, the jetway's right in front of us. And I bet that jetway over there is moving. Here it comes. Ah! So this is Durban Airport that I've had to sit and remake because it wasn't working right and prepared. If you saw the last video, you saw we taxied on grass. So the jet bridges are all in the wrong place, but we have parking stands and we have taxiways. And given that I might not be down here for a while, I just thought, you know what, we'll go for that. And I'm pleased to present to you, I've just realised I've got the wrong registration on this. This is actually Whiskey Alpha, Mike Oscar Bravo Whiskey Alpha. It's taken me about 10 hours, I think, of painstakingly going through all the files and getting things just so. You'll note that my FMX isn't very big, and that's because the towel comes in two sections, and I spent about 3 hours trying to line the two up yesterday. A little bit on here and a bit on here as it went up, and to say I've given up, I've not given up yet, but for now, that will have to do. So, but yeah, that's Whiskey Alpha A320. Painted it myself. So really quite chuffed for that. So yep, anyway. It's a bit different noise, isn't it? Oh well. So we're pretty much ready to go. FS2 crew is going. We've done the brief, as you've heard. I don't want to use the word boring, but there really isn't much to do flying the Airbus. It's very kind of does itself. So anyway, before start procedures.
Before start procedure.
Okay.
And that's it. Let's go to before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist down to the line. Cockpit preparation.
It's completed.
Completed.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
They are on an auto.
On auto.
ADIRS.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
It's like a mere 3.5 tons as we take ourselves from Durban to Johannesburg. Really not a very long flight at all, this. I actually question if we have enough, but... sorry, just pulling out my charts.
3.4 tons.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Barrel ref.
1014 set.
1014 set. Before start checklist completed to the line.
And given on the bar reference being 1014, the actual wind today for 11Z, time of recording, 0205 knots, all the nines, overcast at 3,500 feet, temperature 24, dew point 19, QNH 101406. So it's nice and simple with the weather. Maybe I'll do a video one day that will break that down for everyone. But anyway, so we can, he says, consult in the manual. Not gonna lie, there's a manual open at the moment. Okay, yes.
Ground from cockpit.
Go ahead.
We are ready for engine start.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, beacon is rotating, engine intakes are clear and the chocks have been removed. You're clear to start all engines.
Roger.
And now we grab, I should have done this a little bit earlier. Oh, let's do a straight pushback, I guess. So, yeah, we're taking the Airbus. I've no idea how this is going to go. It's been a while. I did spend some time in the Airbus. Well, it was actually the Airbus was the first aircraft I got in prepared. And the problem I had with it is I bought...
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I bought the A318, 19, 20 and 21. And all I could find to work in PFPX and top cap was the 320. So I've not actually flown really anything else. So... And then I got the PMDG 737. And then I kind of never flew the Airbus again. So we're flying it today. I miss FS2 crew, that's the problem.
Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes.
They don't work in this. Can't use your feet.
Commencing
Brakes released.
push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
So, with a 737 or any Boeing, you kind of have to run down your panels and check. And with this, it's all about lights being off or on. So at the moment, the only lights that aren't really working, we've got two oranges, and they're the generators. I should confess that I am not an Airbus knowledgeable person, but what I do know is we put that to ignition and start, and we flow that switch there, and the engine starts itself. So here's your pressure. N2's on the move. Interestingly enough, N2's on the move for number 1 as well. Not quite sure why. I didn't throw the switch on 1, only threw the switch on 2. But there it goes. EGT is rising. N2's good. That deep.
Set parking brakes.
Brake set. And then we'll start one. Exactly the same way, literally. Just throw the switch.
Unlocking gear.
And one slowly climbing. Pressure 12. Go on.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass being removed.
I didn't think she was going to bite then, but she's finally bitten. Just a quick check outside, see what she sounds like.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
So much quieter in here. Okay, so they're cleared to disconnect.
Have a safe flight.
So the engines are started. So after start procedure. Oh, we didn't do my checklist.
Before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors
See, it's been a while.
Closed.
closed.
Even with a manual in front of me.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set.
Before start checklist complete.
Starting engine 2. Starting engine 1. After start procedure.
Check.
Oh well, never mind.
Flaps 1 plus F.
I'd best check my flow, hadn't I? So after start procedure, engine mode selected to normal. APU bleed to off. Engine as required, wing as required, APU master switch as required. No, not that one. That one. I'll call the after start checklist. I can do that.
Checklist.
After start checklist. Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
0.8 units, I believe. That's about right.
0.8 units nose up set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
Flight controls check.
Ready. For left.
Rudder.
For the right. Neutral.
Is that it?
For
Do not
left.
get.
For the right. Neutral. Full down.
Someone doesn't like my CH yoke. Oh well,
Clear on the left.
Clear on the right.
that's what we're getting. Oh, we're going back off the runway we came on. So we came in on 24 and we're now going off of 06, which is nice. We've lost the... Oh, there we go. I mean, this could end in tears, this flight. It's late. I should be going to bed. Time to move the flights on. People asking for more videos. As you can see, the taxiways are much wider than when we came in. There's a huge hill as well at the end of the runway, which isn't on the... wasn't there on the way in. Much different. Right, coming in, boys and girls down the back. Let's get the cabin secure, please, so we can go. We're waiting for you. There we go.
Flight deck. Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
Alright, so we're clear on the approach.
Before takeoff checklist to the line.
Before takeoff checklist down to the line. Flight controls.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1 is 1, 2, 3. VR is 1, 3, 4. V2 is 1, 3, 5. Flex temp is 6, 7 degrees.
V1 is 1, 2, 3. V rotate is 1, 3, 4. V2 is 1, 3, 5. And for the flex temp we have 6, 7 degrees. ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
Cabin crew seats for departure.
Clear on the approach.
In your own time, Chief.
Before takeoff checklist below the line.
Before takeoff checklist below the line. Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Thanks.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Takeoff.
Check.
Okay. Let's get this show on the road. So, if I remember rightly, we advanced the throttles to the first... No, not that far. We advanced the throttles, and then we punched them twice to get SRS. There we go. So you gate them. Rather than just advance the throttles, you put them into a gated position.
On taxiway.
Someone's drunk. Hey, we're going. At least we're not slewing all the way down the runway this time.
100 knots.
Checked.
Oh, I think at one point it was on the grass. It was that bad. Concentrate.
Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Gear up.
So at 1500 feet, you just pull the throttle back. I'm sure you've all flown this Aerosoft Airbus though. Oh,
Autopilot 1 on.
Autopilot 1
Lap 0.
there's me doing it myself. Could have got him to do it. Turn them up a little bit.
on. 1000 to go.
There we go. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the weather in Jebo today. It's 190 4 knots, cav okay, ceiling visibly okay, temperature 16, dew point 14, QNH 1023. No significant weather. Nice day. Right, so in here we're going to put in the 1023. Temperature of 16 degrees. The wind is a nice easy 190 at 4 knots. We're using 2-1 left today. The transition altitude is 8,000 feet. And when I look at the chart for 2-1 left, it's easy enough. We use 250 feet on the radial. And we just use config 3 because we have a huge runway. And that's pretty much the approach phase set up. So flaps to come down at 185. See, it's a slat retraction, so I would suspect we need to go flaps 1 at this point. Guesswork. 4 flaps at 132. I could be wrong. I could be so wrong, but so yeah. Anyway, let's do the approach. So it's gonna be a star, cat 1, Geraint, anti-assist required, config 3, anti-brake, no, auto brake. Ah, I forgot where it is. It's a button, isn't it? Okay.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay. We will be arriving by the ATC assigned star.
Questions?
For the approach brief complete.
So that's it. We've got 120 miles to run and we're starting our descent. Not even hit the top of climb yet. She looks pretty cool like that. Can't believe I put the wrong registration on it. If we're briefing the approach for this arrival today into Johannesburg, oh, you can go away. We are looking at South Africa, Johannesburg, 2-1 left X-ray, dated 26th May 2016, plate number 70-70. It's a 2-1 left approach, heading 214 degrees from the ILS, and let's just try and get rid of these because they're in the way. That's a step in the right direction. And we're going to shoot the Cat 2. We can just do a Cat 1 for what it's worth. Our decision height today is 250 feet. One wonders if one should have pulled a button out. And it's still moving, look. There it goes. If it goes, it's going to go now. Maybe I should have pushed it. But anyway. I don't think I left it too long. No. It did get me excited chasing it though, look. It's like a lost puppy then, wasn't it? Okay, so as you can see, it's put some pink bars up. This is pretty much the window that the aircraft's going to keep itself in. And it's going to try and keep this pink bar next to this yellow line, which essentially is our descent profile. So in the ideal world, it's worked it out to maintain. It wants to maintain 260 knots on the descent, and it will basically just keep the pitch so it's correct. Well, the attitude. I think he used attitude the other day, but actually I used altitude and then had to correct it afterwards in post. And obviously with a Boeing you get a green arc, but with the Airbus you get this little white arrow. But we're maintaining the vertical profile, so I'm not going to worry too much about the speed. I assume the aircraft won't worry about it too much until we drop out of this pink bar. In fact, here we go. It's just starting to take control of the speed again now. So the plan is to fly from Joburg next, straight up to Cape Town to pick up the 747 to do some of the legs from the Iron Maiden World Tour. Aerosoft, who you can see up in the top right hand corner, who's the virtual airline that I fly for. They have loaded up the flights that were done for the World Tour for Iron Maiden in Ed Force 1, and we're going to fly it. So I think we're going to go from Cape Town to Johannesburg. So yeah, we're flying to Cape Town to pick up the 747, to fly it to Johannesburg, to then fly Johannesburg to Stansted, and then I think we do a bit of a European. We do the European leg. So it's like 6-8 flights in total we're gonna do. It'd just be good to do some hops, which lends itself quite nicely to YouTube Live, doesn't it? Really. So watch out for those in the coming days/weeks. And then what we really need to do is we need to start taking the 747 long haul and really start to fill it up, and making some videos that way. And I think that's what I don't like about it, is it is set up to fly like that, dots everywhere, dots and dashes, and that's kind of how it's mandated. And I know that it's probably the same way in the Boeings, but when I was, I'm going to say taught, but the time I've spent in the flight deck, the pilots weren't. LNAV was always engaged, but VNAV wasn't, and I guess that's because it was a classic aircraft. So VNAV rarely got used until we hit the RVSM airspace, and even then I'm not sure if RVSM was actually a thing then. Which RVSM, by the way, is reduced vertical separation minima. So they went from 2,000 feet apart crossing to 1,000 feet apart crossing. And watching a plane come at you 1,000 feet above you is pretty awesome, especially when there's a couple of aircraft all crisscrossing at the same time. Northern France is pretty cool for that. Right, so here we go. We're making start to make the turns. In fact, the speed's reducing even more, isn't it? So we have to put some flaps in by the looks of things.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
I'm not sure what it's reducing down to. It says 124 down there, and that scares me. So I'm gonna not put the next stage of flaps out and hope that it stays. Or am I gonna have to take control? So there's the runway. This wasn't on the this wasn't the weather, was it? No, the new weather's in. And it's 180 at 3 knots, 8,000 meters, no significant cloud. So it's just the visibility's dropped. 10230. So the what's happened is the dew point and temperature are almost the same. It's 15 and 14. I guess it's nighttime there, isn't it now? So plenty of visible moisture. That's all you've got
1,000.
there. All right, I've got control.
Approaching 2-1 left.
We can go flaps 3.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flap 3.
Landing
Landing
checklist.
checklist.
Landing checklist. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
ECAM memo.
Landing, no blue.
Landing checklist complete. Cabin crew seats for landing.
$500.
Flight deck.
400.
Okay. Thanks for
100
letting me
above.
know.
300.
Captain,
Minimum.
the cabin secure.
200.
Continue.
Check.
Don't do this at home, kids.
100.
Too busy watching the stuff at the
70.
top.
60. 50. 40.
Now we're going to glide all the way down the
30.
runway and not land.
20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
Long landing. Long landing. Long landing. Long landing.
Spoilers.
Slam. That doesn't help. The view wasn't so good, was it? Oh well.
70 knots.
Manual braking. Hopefully. It's not like we didn't have the runway for it.
4,000 feet remaining.
But yeah, I was so busy reading the stuff at the top because I didn't configure early enough that I wasn't actually watching the glide slope. So that'd be a lesson for your kids. Oh yeah, by the way, we're landing.
Landing.
Check.
Okay to clean up.
Check.
So yeah, let that be a lesson to your kids. Aviate, navigate, communicate. I knew the aircraft was good. Got a 3-mile taxi now. I'll see you when we get around the other side. I've squiffed the parking for Jet Bridge. The Jet Bridge. There's no real need to. Here it comes. Stop! So, parking brake set. 1. There you go, that clicked straight over. As soon as Gen 1 went offline, the APU took over the power, so that's good. So we can shut down 2. Let him do his float. Alright, parking checklist.
Parking checklist.
Parking checklist. APU bleed.
On.
Engines.
Off.
Off.
Seatbelts.
Off.
Are you sure about that?
Nope.
Exterior lights.
Set.
Set.
Fuel pumps.
They're off.
Off.
Parking
They're
brake
up here.
and shocks.
Set.
Released.
Parking checklist complete.
He's can
Securing the
secure
aircraft checklist.
And
Securing
I will
the aircraft checklist.
pirate my
ADIRS.
flight. Oh, look at that. One shouldn't be bothered, but 96 feet per minute on the landing rate. One should just plant it, but I'll take a 96 feet a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on this 30-minute flight log. I hope it helped pass time. That's literally the least I can hope for, given that I was tired and I didn't say very much. At least that's how it felt to me. I will speak to you all very soon. Please don't forget to... there's going to be a little subscribe button pop up shortly, just as the video finishes. Please feel free to hit that. And there'll also be another video that it will suggest to you. Feel free to watch that too. Apart from that, I'm done, and I will speak to you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Liam, and you've been watching the Flightmanx flight sim videos, one pilot flogging his way around the world, one flight at a time. Thank you, and goodbye.